Welcome to Stories of Criminal World. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most unsettling cases in modern American crime history. A story of isolation, fear, missed warnings, and the tragic consequences of a man who walked unnoticed among society for far too long. Before we start the story, please give us 30 seconds of your time, subscribe to our channel, leave a positive comment, and like. Now let's start the story. This is the story of Jeffrey Dahmer, not told to shock, but to examine how the system failed, how opportunities to intervene were missed, and how one man's life spiraled into darkness. Take a breath. Let's step back in time to the beginning. Jeffrey Dahmer was born in 1960 in Bath, Ohio. From the outside, he looked like an ordinary kid. But the inside was a different story. His childhood home was filled with tension. His father was often busy with academic work, while his mother battled mental health struggles. The young boy felt invisible, unheard, and alone. Teachers later recalled him as quiet but odd, a child who seemed disconnected from everyone around him. By the time he reached high school, he was an outsider drifting through the hallways, laughing loudly to get attention, but never truly connecting. He was already slipping through society's cracks. Dahmer's world shifted dramatically during his teenage years. His parents' marriage collapsed. The family home turned into a battleground. Arguments, instability, and emotional distance became normal. At 18, Dahmer was left alone in a house for weeks, abandoned by parents who were too focused on their own problems to notice the emotional storm inside their son. This isolation set the stage for the choices that would follow. In 1978, shortly after high school graduation, Dahmer committed his first crime. He killed a young man called Hick with a dumbbell and hid him in basement. It didn't make the news. It didn't shock the world. Police barely noticed. But this moment became a blueprint, a pattern he would repeat again and again. Moments of loneliness, sudden decisions, no intervention, no accountability. Every warning sign was missed. After high school, Dahmer drifted through life. He tried college. He joined the Army. He bounced between jobs. Everywhere he went, people noticed something was off. But no one dug deeper. Alcohol dependency worsened. Behavior grew unpredictable. Yet again, no intervention. By the mid-1980s, Dahmer had relocated to Milwaukee, where he lived quietly in apartment buildings where neighbors barely knew him. His isolation only deepened. In 1990, Dahmer moved into apartment 213 at the Oxford Apartments. This small, dimly lit apartment became the epicenter of his actions. Neighbors smelled strange odors. They heard unusual sounds. They felt uneasy around him, but their complaints were dismissed or ignored. Behind Dahmer's polite smile was a hidden world, one that no one imagined could exist only a few feet away. As time passed, Dahmer's crimes escalated. He became more reckless, more desperate, more bold, yet police encounters repeatedly ended with warnings instead of arrests. There were countless near interventions, moments where the entire story could have ended, but each time he slipped through the system. One neighbor later said, "Every instinct told me something was wrong, but no one listened." In July 1991, Dahmer's final victim escaped. Terrified and injured, he flagged down police and led them back to the apartment. What officers found inside ended Dahmer's reign permanently. The discovery shocked the world, not only for the crimes themselves, but for how long they had gone unnoticed. 17 boys and man death in his arms. And then cannibalism started. This single escape changed everything. Dahmer confessed in extreme detail, showing little emotion. His trial in 1992 became one of the most watched in American history. His defense argued mental illness. The prosecution argued he understood right from wrong. The jury agreed with prosecutors. Dahmer received multiple life sentences. In prison, Dahmer lived quietly, often isolated from others. But in 1994, another inmate fatally attacked him. And with that, Jeffrey Dahmer's story came to an end. His case remains a reminder of the dangers of isolation, untreated mental struggles, and institutional failure. This is not just the story of a criminal. It's the story of a system that didn't act until it was far too late. If you found this deep dive valuable, subscribe to Stories of Criminal World for more detailed story-based crime documentaries.
Compelling.
And
Subscribe
remember,
to Stories of
understanding
Criminal
these
World
stories
for more
isn't
true
about
crime
glorifying
stories,
them.
real-life
It's
mysteries,
about
and
preventing the next
psychological
one.
breakdowns every
See
week.
you in the next video.